Hey, this is Charles from InfoSpike, and I just wanted to give you some insight if you're stuck in affiliate marketing, if you haven't made your first $1,000, or perhaps you have been doing it for a while, but you hit some roadblock. And so decided to create this article. It says From Stuck to Success, How a Passion Mindset Transformed My Affiliate Marketing Business. I want to talk about how I got started in affiliate marketing and also my kind of set of experiences that changed, evolved my business over time. So when I first got started, it was in the late 1990s, roughly the beginnings of internet marketing and affiliate marketing. I got started by promoting DVDs, like kind of like Blu-ray DVDs now, but back then just regular DVDs and the players. So these DVD players, they're pretty expensive because they're probably roughly first, second generation. And so these players, they're like around probably about $300, $500, some of them even close to $1,000. This was shortly after a time when they had these super large laser disc, and so I was promoting a lot of movies. And then that business was actually pretty good for a while, but then I realized that I needed to do something different because just promoting items like let's say $20 and just getting small commissions, like let's say 50 cents, $1 DVD, that just wouldn't cut it. In order to build a business from that, I would have to sell thousands. And to do that, I would have to have, like, let's say, several hundreds of thousands of people on my website, which is a lot, especially for someone getting started. Just thinking about getting hundreds of thousands of visitors or a million visitors a month to a website, it's a very big challenge. And also, if someone can accomplish that, it's a very big accomplishment. So I started looking at different business models. So I got into something called niche site marketing, where I started building out a whole bunch of different websites, a whole bunch of different niches. And I'll say that in my lifetime, I've had well over 500 websites, maybe over, I would say, somewhere between 600 to 800 websites. I lost count because I was just doing like this, almost like a churn and burn method where just throwing things against the wall, trying to see what stuck. And there were, of course, a small subset of those sites that did actually have some success. But in order to actually build a business like that, it requires a huge commitment of time, technical resources, and a lot of monitoring, a lot of, at the time I was doing a lot of development, software development. But I think most people that get into that kind of stuff, they're pretty technical. And so over time, I realized that having hundreds of sites, it's just not the way to go. Some people still do that today. It's very tough, especially in this era of artificial intelligence. But my business model has always come from this perspective that I have to diversify. I have to diversify. And then by building out different websites, especially content websites, that was a form of diversification. But what I didn't really think about is the diversification of traffic. And in recent months and the last couple of years, there's actually been a very big change in how search engines like Google, how they actually rank sites like this. And so one of the biggest thing I realized that even though I did consolidate from hundreds of websites down to a small handful, it's still a very huge challenge, especially if they are in different niches, very, very different niches. And I actually took well over a decade later, I ended up changing things around. So I modified that strategy and then I got into something called mass websites. Very similar in a way, ranking a whole bunch of websites, a whole bunch of niches, and trying to see, again, throwing things against a wall to see what would stick. But the second round, I realized I had to pivot again. If you think about this, a lot of pivoting, but this is like since the 1990s. So a lot of things I've learned over time, and that was not just my only business model. I've even sold nutritional supplements before, a lot of different things. different products I've sold, even e-commerce, a lot of different things. So to make a long story short, the things that will help you build a business over time, and this is just my opinion, is to become an authority. To become an authority in one niche. And I know a lot of these SEOs that were doing strategies like this, they'll think that they could just game the system and become authorities in a whole bunch of niches. But my business model, it's about being a solopreneur. It's about having a freedom-based lifestyle, a lifestyle where I could travel around the world, do things that I want in my own time, and do that with my family. And then if I needed backup, perhaps my wife could do some of these tasks and possibly take over. So I wanted to make something that is very simple, not as technical. We're here, I'm living in Silicon Valley, so it's kind of interesting that I would try to create something very, very simple so I wouldn't have to do much technical work. And I think it's just because being here in Silicon Valley for decades, just getting, feeling some burnout and wanted to simplify my life, wanted to simplify business processes. So the first thing is picking something that you want to do for the long term, picking a niche that you want to become authority in. To become an authority, you have to be willing to spend time and build up your presence. Some people might do that by building up their brand without showing their face. That is doable. People can build faceless businesses. I actually tried to do that for several years, building anonymous businesses. That was like the name of the game when it came to niche sites. So I have done that. But what I realized, to get traction, putting yourself out there, showing yourself, showing your face is actually an advantage. Even if you feel that you are shy, you are introverted, don't want to do these kind of things. I was in this situation before, but I learned that I needed to change. I learned to accept this different type of business where instead I was being anonymous, instead of doing it things that way, I would actually change and then put myself out there and then provide my opinion. And that leads me to the next point. A lot of this content that I created in the past was just getting others to create content for me. I would actually outsource content. There's a lot of writing websites out there where you could pay per word and publish this content. A lot of the niche website marketers, they would do this. And so what I realized is that, yeah, you can do that. But if you really want to connect with your audience, if you really want to become an authority, you got to be willing to create content yourself. Some people might not agree with that. But if you create an authoritative business, if you're just a solopreneur and you don't want to have this huge workforce, then that is the way to go. And some people say, well, how can you scale with that? Well, what you do is you create quality content that vibes with your audience, and you share your point of views, you share your opinion, and it's not just about churning content, putting it out there, because otherwise we have artificial intelligence out there that can do that for you. So what is the added value? What is your unique selling proposition? Why would anybody want to listen to you if you have no opinion and you just want to be neutral? So that is my big kind of mindset difference nowadays. Even though I am a big supporter of artificial intelligence, I still value the opinion of human beings. And I think that moving forward in this business, I will utilize, of course, artificial intelligence to help me come up with ideas, to brainstorm, to create snippets of content. But for the most part, my experiences are what I want to provide online, and that is the big difference. And then from there, another big difference is that I wanted to have this solopreneur business where things were easy to manage, where I could spend less than an hour on my business forever. I think reading like Tim Ferriss's book about the 4-hour work week, it made me change my thinking on what is possible. But what I realized is that to build a business online and to build yourself up as an authority, building yourself up in a bubble, to me, that's not being an authority. I think that connecting with your audience is a big part of this. So being able to discuss things with your audience, being able to share your thoughts and have a conversation. I think those are the big things that will help us build our businesses in the future, and we'll be able to build that connection and be able to be that authority and influence where people do really want to hear you out, and you'll be able to connect with people. Some people might not be cool with that, but others will. So hopefully that you got a lot of from this video. My name is Charles from InfoSpike. And if you want to learn more about building your business, I'll be providing more videos where I'll be providing, of course, my insights into building an affiliate marketing business. Thanks for watching.